Good day! Welcome to English class. I am teacher Arnel, always ready to learn and to give you learning. Today we will discuss about a text. What is a text? A text is a language unit. A text with a definable communicative functions. A text can be spoken or written, and size doesn't matter. Text can be grouped into categories based on their structure and purpose. These categories include narratives, expository text, technical text, and persuasive text, which can be distinguished by examining what the authors intend and how the author goes about achieving the intended result. Knowing the features of each type of text allows you to choose the format that best suits your work. Now, there are 5 types of text. First is narrative and literature, expository, explanatory, factual and personal recount, and persuasive. First, we'll discuss about narrative in literature. Narrative in literature texts tell a story of part of a story. Narrative texts include plot structure, conflict, characterization, setting, theme, point of view, sequencing, and transitions. Example, novels, short stories, historical accounts, poems, and plays. Narratives are accounts of past events, either real or fictional. A narrative essay, which tells about real incidents, must have a clearly defined setting, characters, plot, and point of view. It must include an introduction, a climax, and a conclusion. The author's purpose in writing a narrative essay is to communicate an important lesson learned during the story, such as the importance of knowing how to swim when the author nearly drowned, and not just recount past events. The purpose of narrative is to essentially tell a story. That said, there can be many reasons for storytelling in the first place. For example, myths can be told to explain natural phenomena, and legends can be used to pass on cultural beliefs. Storytelling itself is a means to entertain and inform readers and allows for the writer to express themselves creatively and imaginatively. There are many types of narrative texts, including myths, fables, traditional tales, novels, short stories, etc., to name a few. The structure of narrative. There are many types of narrative texts, but broadly speaking, they all begin by establishing setting and introducing characters. A problem or complication is then introduced, which serve as the driving force behind the ensuing events. After the rising action reaches a dramatic high point or climax, a resolution is achieved and the story ends. Main features. Most often written in the past or present tense. Most often uses the third or first person perspective. Main features. Characters are often recognizably human in their motivations and actions. Language is used creatively to paint a picture in the reader's mind. Storytelling may be supplemented by the use of images. Second is expository text. Expository text in non-fiction. That is mean true. It seeks to explain or inform. The information can be verified as true. Structures, descriptions, comparisons, contrast, cause and effect, problem and solution focus on a specific topic. There are often headings and subheadings. It contains facts and information. Example, biographies and autobiographies. The purpose of an expository text is to give information about a specific topic. It is not storytelling, but a straightforward discussion of a topic, such as population increase in New England, the reasons behind it, and its effects. According to Professor Arnetha F. Ball of Stanford University, the author of an expository text cannot assume that the reader has prior knowledge of the topic. Therefore, the writer must use plain language and an easy-to-follow structure. Explanatory text. An explanatory text type is used to describe how things work and why things happen. An explanation tries to provide answers to questions that the reader or listener may have on a certain subject. Explanations are used to teach people new information. The author of a technical text also has the purpose of explaining a specific topic, but a technical text's language and structure distinguish it from other expository types. A technical text contains specific terminology to address the text's issues and avoids colloquial terms, humor, and critical language. In addition, vague terms and figurative language have no place in a technical text, in which authors use few, if any, interrogative sentences. Sentences that are questions, and imperative sentences, sentences that are commands. The purpose of explanatory text is to move beyond providing straightforward descriptions to looking at things like causes and reasons. They move beyond a retelling of what happened, such as in a simple report, to address the why and how of what happened. The structure is usually open with a general statement that introduces the topic to be explored. For example, during the winter, some birds migrate to warmer parts of the world. The various steps of the process are then explained in a logical order. The main feature of explanatory is the type to reveals what is being explained. May contain diagrams, flowcharts, and illustrations, written in simple present tense. Time connectives used such as first, after, then, next, and finally, and etc. Talks to the reader directly. Example, you'll be surprised to learn. Personal and factual recounts. A recount retells past events in order to which they happened. Either it is factual or personal. Factual such as a news story. Personal such as a family holiday or your opinion on a subject. Its purpose is focus on retelling events and are generally intended to inform and or entertain. Its structure often open with a scene being set or another device that establishes context. They continue by providing an account of the events that took place, usually in chronological order. At times, the chronological structure can be reordered by using techniques such as flashbacks and etc. But generally, this is the domain of fictional recounts. Its main feature are written in the past tense as text type relates events that already happened. Time connectives used extensively to organize chronologically, example, first, then, next, after that, and etc. And details are used extensively to flesh out the bare bones of the events. Persuasive text. With persuasive text, the author tries to convince the reader to adopt a particular opinion on or perform a certain action. Explanations can describe how things work. How does a DVD player work? Describe why things happen, such why are there different seasons. Show how things are similar or different, such how do fresh water and salt water differ, how are they similar. Try to solve a problem or situation when you question or ask what is the fastest way to clean my room. The author of persuasive text tries to convince the audience of the validity of the author's opinion. This type of text can employ a number of different persuasive methods. These techniques include the use of rhetorical questions, repetition, emotive language, exaggeration, addressing the readers directly and using facts as means of backing up a point. The writer must mention the issue clearly and must express an opinion on its explicitity. The purpose of persuasive type text is to convince the reader of the merits of adopting a particular viewpoints or taking a specific course of action. The structures beginning with an opening statement or thesis statement. Persuasive texts start by summing up the viewpoint to be presented. The body paragraphs then organize, present, and elaborate on this viewpoint. A closing statement then restates and reinforces the original thesis of the text. Its main features. First, written in simple present tense, moves from a general point to specific points, uses logical connectives, such as therefore, because of this proves that, employs rhetorical devices, uses facts and evidence to support arguments, addresses reader directly, employs various methods of psychological persuasion. And that ends with my topic. Thank you very much for tuning in to my channel. Once again, this is Teacher Arnold, where learnings in English is limitless. Thank you and goodbye.